Hey there, YouTube. It's me, the Wayward nurse, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the difficulties of healthcare and how to cope with them. You know, so much of what we do can feel so futile. So much of what we do can feel like a complete waste. You know, right now at this phase of life, I'm working 50 to 60 hours a week at a minimum. And so much of that time is spent chasing orders and performing assessments that really don't seem to guide any medical decisions that are made. Part of that is because at my particular facility and in my particular department, there are so many medical teams on board that it really would be impractical for them to sit down and explain line by line, why are we doing, why are the orders what they are, what are we looking for. But you know, we get so many people that are transferred to us for neurosurgical intervention, and neurosurgery then looks at the imaging after they've been flown to our facility. They're like, there's nothing to do. We're just going to watch. Just going to watch. So I'm going to pinch this dude 12 times a day. Doing all 4 extremities, and that's 48 times a day. I'm hollering at him, trying to open eyes, whatever. And then, bam, we get a GCS drop. Column surgery. Hey. Smith is no longer moving his left arm. Smith is no longer arousing the painful stimulus. We're going to intubate. Okay, we intubate him. Continue to monitor. No intervention this time. Great. So what are we monitoring for? And then you get a patient who came in for an elective surgery to get a tumor removed. It was right parietal, so he's got left-sided weakness, he's got profound left-sided facial droop, he's got balance issues. That's super cool, super motivated to do well, super appreciative of everything you do. And then family comes in, and they're also working with the patient, and you see that this guy has the attitude and the support system necessary to thrive, to do really, really, really well. So you get him up, you get him to the bedside commode, he's got orders to go to the floor. And what's actually happened to me today, I had him on the pot, which happened to be right next to the curtain, and I heard something that I didn't recognize from out in the hallway, and I knew I didn't have any other staff at the nurse's station, so I peeked my head out briefly, everything looks fine, and I look back and I see him falling. Now, praise the Lord, he did not strike his head on the floor, on the bed, or anything else. He kind of had his arm out and kind of rolled. It was actually the most gentle fall you could possibly imagine. So I ring up neurosurgery, we do a stat head CT. On the way out to get the stat head CT, I find out I've got a clean bed. So great, let's get this done first. I get the patient back, no neuro change whatsoever. No deficits, no new deficits anyways. And I ring up neurosurgery, hey, we got the head CT done. Please take a look at the image. Tell me, am I safe to transfer this patient? Yeah, go ahead. He's good to go. I'm looking at the image now. I don't see anything new. Go ahead and transfer. So we transfer, get him up to his bed. We ambulate from the hall to the bed. No new deficits. Very pleasant. Thanks for all you've done. I really appreciate you. You have a great day. You take care. Go. Then my ICU provider walks by. And she tells me, the floor called me. I told him that I'm not following this patient anymore, but they called me because he's got new slurred speech and other neuro changes. They wanted me to come assess him. I was within arm's reach of this guy. I was with him. But I turned my head and he fell. And you plead and you persuade and you advocate and you cry with your dying patients and their families. In the ICU best case scenario, they go to the floor. Never see him again. And then you get the next train wreck. You're going to fight for it, struggle for it. Which, by the way, this is part of the reason why if you do survive a traumatic incident and you are appreciative of your ICU staff, please come back and visit us. Let us know you're doing well. Because I don't know what people think saving a life feels like. I can tell you that it feels like you just got your ass handed to you and you're just leaving night shift with a mess. That's what saving a life feels like. There is no heroism in it. There is no... It's hard and it's ugly. It's traumatic for everybody involved, regardless of how many times you've done it. Anybody that says otherwise either is a liar or a sociopath. So what do you do? How do you cope? We're all taught a variety of things. You got to have hobbies. You got to have a support system. If you have a faith community that you belong to, that's very helpful as well. Make sure you've got a good work-life balance. But one of the things that we don't ever talk about is the fact that it is just hard. Tell my students all the time, you got to do your very best to pick your patient up when you get report and put them down when you're done. Because if you don't, what happens is you carry that patient into the next room, or you carry the patient home, or you carry the patient to the next day, and all of a sudden, because you are preoccupied with the tragedy that is that patient that you've been carrying, you are no longer as effective a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a son. You're no longer as effective a nurse for the other patients. You're no longer as pleasant a neighbor, as courteous a citizen, whatever the case may be. You gotta put them down. Then after years of picking them up and putting them down, picking them up and commit to being a light. Be a light at work. You know, when I pray on my way into work, I pray, Lord, grant it to me to be a blessing to my patients, to their families, and to their co-workers, and to my co-workers. Bless them with my expertise and protect them from my ignorance. Grant it to me to grow in this ministry of mercy. But don't just be a light there, be a light at home. Christ, make me a better father. Make me a better husband. Make me a better neighbor. You've got to be focused. You've got to be centered on fulfilling your purpose of shining warmth and light in this world. Yeah, you got to find ways to feed that fire. Sometimes weather conditions make it more difficult to do that. Sometimes the flame doesn't catch no matter what you feed it. But don't be discouraged when your light isn't as bright. Don't be discouraged when you discover that you are not as warm. But recognize that just like lifting weight, it's a lot heavier after rep 10 of set 4 of your third movement than when it was when you first walked in the gym. So what do? You just quit? You allow that part of you to rest. You find a way to rest. Whatever it is. But it has to be something that feeds you. It has to be something that nourishes you. It has to be something that does more than anesthetize you. Getting drunk won't even give you a good night's sleep. All it does is take more. And I think you'll find that no matter what your strategy is to anesthetize as opposed to exercise that part of you that is burning and gasping for relief, another thing to consume. So, the last step to this, which is kind of part and parcel of committing to being a light in every aspect of your life, is recognize that the burden of curing, the burden of solving, the burden of fixing, to your interaction with other people. It is real easy to break a relationship. It is real easy to break trust. It is real easy to break a patient. But you can be the most educated, most compassionate, most empathic, most dedicated, effective nurse on the planet. But if your post-open heart patient is a slug and not willing to breathe, not willing to push, not willing to cooperate, they're not going to have a good It's not up to you to make your patient become motivated. It's up to you to encourage. It's up to you to support. It's up to you to uplift. It's up to you to build up. But if the patient refuses, what are you supposed to do? You know, as nurses, we have all this responsibility to make sure that PT is done, and speech is done, and x-ray is done, and MRI is done, and meds are passed, and they're the right meds, and they're the right route, and they're the right dose, and all of, but I have no authority. I don't have the power to prescribe what I need to accomplish that which will actually help the patient. So I can't control my patient. I can't control my doctors and the asinine orders I may or may not receive. I can't control their family environment. I can't control their support system. I can't control their visitors. I can't control their health history. I can't control their family history. I can't control whether or not their IV goes bad. I can be faithful. I can be faithful in the moment. I can be faithful to the duty that has been laid before me to take this person, created in the image of God, who is suffering for reasons that may or may not be that person's fault. But regardless of that, to care for that person, to truly care for that person, to be a light. Assists.